Tonight, the man known as Smash looks to become the first ever BYB champion in 2 weight classes. To do so, he must reign supreme over the Samurai, Tommy Turner. The monster, Diaz, looks to move 1 step closer to BYB Gold when he collides with the Z-Man, Zion Tomlinson. Plus, BYB Women's Lightweight World Champion, Paty Juarez, begins a new journey. The Trigon is open. Here we go. Oh, it's great to be back in Denver, Colorado, a mile high. The Stockyards Event Center once again hosting the smallest surface in combat sports, the mighty Trigon. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to BYB Extreme. I will tell you one thing for certain. The theme for tonight's main event of the evening has been made very clear over the last few months by both competitors. Do not blink. These 2 men will fight in the main event for the BYB Middleweight World Championship. Let's start with the Samurai, Tommy Turner, a spectacular glove boxer who has transitioned into the bare knuckle game and looked absolutely spectacular. The Samurai slick boxing skills will go to the body, will do whatever it takes to win the belt tonight. To do so, he will have to face off against the man who already has the belt at 168 pounds. That is Laurent T. Smash Nelson, who looks to make history by becoming the first man to hold a belt in 2 different weight divisions. My partner tonight, of course, Benny Ricardo. And Benny, highly anticipated, I would say, this matchup. Since the day it was announced, both you and I have been counting down the days.
Absolutely. And you know, it's great to be in the Mile High City. I'm switching over to English now, so I'm like the E.T. alien. I know the language, but I still want to go home.
See.
And there's nothing better than being in the Trigon. Well, you better try or you're gone.
How about LT and Tommy Turner? I mean, it is 2 of the best.
Well, let me tell you something. There's no harder working human being than Smash, Laurent T. Nelson. Here's a guy that I'm telling you, he works harder than God. Matter of fact, if God would have hired him, he would have finished by Thursday. We'd have 3-day weekends. But this is a guy, I've never seen a guy get the kind of leverage he gets. He squares up his shoulder, which is the wrong way to fight. But he makes it a way to be very effective. The guy's got great heart, great chin, incredible punching power, and very, very precise. And this is a guy that even though he comes from an economically privileged background, you still can't put out the fire of a fighter, and he's there. Whereas in the other way around, Tommy Turner, great opportunity for him to come over here. He's already faced Barry Jones, probably the best bare knuckle fighter on the planet, and now he's going to take on Smash Nelson.
Tommy Turner said when he took the gloves off, he feels this is his place at this time in life. This is his destiny. Tonight, he plans on leaving with the BYB Middleweight Championship belt. All right, also on the card tonight, a Cruiserweight title eliminator, Yuli the Monster Diaz in Zion Tomlinson. Yuli has been exactly as advertised. He has been the monster.
Well, the man has got the fastest knockout in the history of combat sports. 3 seconds.
Unbelievable.
3 seconds. Unbelievable. And then, of course, he's going up against Zion Tomlinson, who wants to go ahead and take it away from him. He knows that Uli is a legend. Uli is an inspiration for everybody what he's overcome. He's got a son that's beaten cancer. That's where he draws his strength from. And now Zion is going to face him. This is going to be a heck of an encounter.
I'll tell you what, Zion Tomlinson has shown to utilize his length very well. As I've said before, his precision can be very precise.
Exactly, and he's watched him for a long time, and you know what? He thinks he can take him.
He does indeed. And Yuli said, you know what? It's a speed bump for the Z-Man tonight, not a stop sign. I'm taking him out tonight, but he will still have a great future. All right, we have a half dozen spectacular matchups for you here in Denver. Take a look at our fight card. We just talked about our main event of the evening for the BYB Middleweight World Championship, 160 pounds. And of course, that is the man who holds the belt at super middleweight, Laurent T. Smash Nelson and Tommy Turner. Paty Juarez, Paty Juarez, our champion at lightweight, moves up to super lightweight tonight. she gets to fight again here at home. We talked about Yuli and Zion. That is our featured matchup in the Cruiserweight division. And we also have some other great names like Robert Duran Jr., as in, yes, Hands of Steel, as his coach said, the son of Hands of Stone. Sean Roll from Cleveland, Ohio, makes his debut. And when we come back, we get things started with Art Parker, the self-proclaimed sexiest man in combat sports, and DeWitt Dixon. That is coming up next. Art Parker and DeWitt Dixon. Yes, Art Parker has made 205, the incredibly shrinkable man who is, of course, the self-proclaimed sexiest man in combat sports. He gets set to get things started against the crazy cat, DeWitt Dixon. To officially get things underway here in Denver, here is Lupe.
We kick off the action. Entering the arena, DeWitt Dixon.
DeWitt Dixon, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, fighting out of Charlotte, North Carolina, looking for his first victory inside the Trigon.
And you know, this is the kind of guy, he doesn't care who he's fighting. It's just a body out there in front of him. This is a guy always ready to go ahead and brawl with anybody there is. And he's made a home now out there in Charlotte, North Carolina, where there's a lot of places where you can get very quality sparring, and that's what he's been able to do. So he's gonna come over here and let it go, and that's gonna be a very exciting match against, as you called him, self-proclaimed, right? Or yes. You didn't call him that, right?
Well, if I don't call him that to his face, he gets upset, but yeah, self-proclaimed.
So all our viewing audience, try to control yourself when you see Art Parker in the ring.
Exactly. Big stress tonight, DeWitt Dixon told us, is to showcase effective aggression. Last time he felt he had some looping punches against Jordan Fuentes. He felt good, but not great. Obviously, he had the setback, but tonight, look for him to try to really be effective quickly.
Well, Fuentes is one of the most talented fighters we have at BYB, and he's a guy that, I mean, brings everything. For DeWitt Dixon getting in there against him was a hell of an accomplishment. He's going to work off that left hook. He's got a great left hook, so we'll see if he can connect with Art Parker on that.
Here's Lupe.
His opposition, Art Parker.
Art Parker broke his wrist in his last fight. He said, because I punched wrong. That was in February of 23 back at BYB 15. His BYB debut, Benny, which came in November of 2022, he weighed 234.8. His second fight in the Trigon, 217.6. But he was so depressed after the loss in his second BYB battle that he got super grumpy, depressed, and he fought at 255 in September of last year with the gloves on, weighed in at 202.6.
And you know, Michael, when he told me he was going to lose that weight, I didn't believe him. I said, how are you going to shed the pound? Look at him. Got down and made 205 pounds, and he looks great. He says he's got incredible, his physicality has increased greatly by dropping that weight. So I'm anxious to see what he does. This is a very, I mean, he may mess around. He calls himself a Filipino street karate expert, but after all is said and done, this guy is a fighter. And that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, exactly. His wife, Courtney, handles his strength and conditioning, and he is the nutritionist for Art. She is Courtney. Here is Art Parker, DeWitt Dixon. Our tail of the tape for our first fight of the night. Dixon, 3 years older, 202.6. Well done, Art Parker, who will have the height advantage.
But it's funny how all of a sudden the reach is even, 72.
Right?
Exactly.
Exactly even. And with the official introductions of this Cruiserweight matchup, here's Lupe.
From the Stockyard Event Center, Denver, Colorado, this is BYB 26 Mile High Brawl, being presented in association with Mike Bradner Law, along with Master Sound Productions and GC3. Tonight's bouts are being sanctioned by the Colorado Combative Sports Commission. Our director is Troy Cummings. We kick off the action with this contest set for 5 rounds or less in the Cruiserweight division. Scoring the action, we have judges Carmen Beal, along with Oscar Martinez and Mark Van Tine. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the action is referee Curtis Thrasher. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters wearing blue with white trim on the scale. He registered an official 205 pounds. After a highly competitive, highly entertaining debut tonight, this boxer puncher returns and makes his second appearance on the most unique surface in combat sports. From Charlotte, North Carolina, DeWitt Dixon. In the red corner, wearing purple with white lettering, he registered an official 202 3/4 pounds. This professional boxer, kickboxer, MMA fighter, and the self-proclaimed sexiest man in bare knuckle returns to the mighty Trigon in a new weight division. From Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Art the Dead Man Parker.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Let's touch gloves right now. Good luck.
Fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Here we go. And they clinch immediately.
And that's the best thing Dixon can do when he gets inside to get that tight plum and throw that uppercut. Aim it for that beard.
Big shots. Those are the looping punches.
Let's see if Parker can weather the
landed
storm.
big. Dixon firing away massively here early in this fight. Parker takes a knee.
And that's a smart move right there, Mike, because now he can take 8 seconds to try to get his wind back. And I think this is going to be it. This is going to be it.
It is all over, just like that. DeWitt Dixon finishes on Parker in round number 1.
That was like a hurricane beating on a screen door.
Man.
Unbelievable storm DeWitt Dixon brought with him.
The
He never let him
punches
breathe.
worked fine that time.
But you know, the accuracy was phenomenal,
Yes.
because even though you could call it flailing, every one of those shots were landing, and Parker never got a chance. That's the thing with the Trigon, Mike. You cannot go in the corner. You go in the corner and you're not coming out. It's the narrowest corner you ever see.
It was the flurry, but there was also one left that connected right to the chin of Art Parker, and that really started the knees buckling.
But it was that first uppercut. That first uppercut was right on the money. I mean, he aimed for the beard, and that beard went all the way up to his chin, past his chin down to his eyebrow, and that set the trend right there. And then all of a sudden, Parker could never get out of there.
And the victory goes to DeWitt Dixon, his first win inside the Trigon.
That's right, many more to come. Many more to come, Bill.
Congratulations to DeWitt Dixon. The official decision of our first fight of the night is coming up next. DeWitt Dixon has told us in the past his
Ladies
power
and gentlemen,
shot
inside
is
the mighty
left
Trigon,
hook.
referee Curtis Thrasher calls a halt to the action with an official time of 34 seconds of the opening round, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout, DeWitt Dixon.
That left hook his power shot, and that was one of the many he landed quickly, Benny.
Exactly, and it was coming from both sides. Art Parker had no chance whatsoever to get out of there. And that's a beautiful way of using the trigon the way you should, because he totally walked him down. He walked him down towards the corner, and that's where he did the damage. Never let him get out of there.
So we're off to a big start for Charlotte, North Carolina's Crazy Cat, DeWitt Dixon. Of course, our main event of the evening is Laurent T. Smash Nelson and Tommy the Samurai Turner as they fight for a middleweight championship belt. Fight scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. Tommy Turner, one of the kindest, coolest, and calmest men you will ever meet, but when he gets in the trigon, he looks to do business. Everything back and forth between Tommy Turner and LT has been nothing but first class, but they both want the same thing. And LT Smash Nelson has beaten champion after champion after champion, and now he wants to become the first champion in 2 weight divisions. That is later in our main event of the evening. Coming up next, the welterweights.
Entering the arena, Sean Rawl. His counterpart, Walter Sarabia.
Ahí estoy, listo para dar lo que usted necesita, acá estoy.
Exactly what you said. Here is Lupe with the official introduction.
We continue with the action inside the Stockyards Event Center, Denver, Colorado. It is BYB 26 Mile High Brawl, being presented in association with Mike Brandler Law, Master Sound Productions, and GC3. This contest, 5 rounds or less in the welterweight division. Scoring the action we have Carmen Beal, along with Oscar Martinez and Mark Bantine. At the sound of the bell, in charge of keeping order, referee Bobby Wambacher. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters wearing black with silver trim on the scale. He registered an official 145 3/4 pounds. Tonight, this multi-discipline combat sports athlete loses the gloves and makes his BYB bare knuckle debut from Cleveland, Ohio. His opponent in the red corner, wearing black with white trim, he weighed in at an identical 145 3/4 pounds. Coming off a successful KO victory, this South American street fighter returns to the mighty Trigon, fighting out of La Candelaria, Argentina, El Nene, Walter Sarabia.
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up if you want.
Bobby Wambacher, our referee, fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Walter Sarabia, Sean Raw. Here we go!
And Walter's coming off a very impressive win over Isaac Ware. It was amazing the way he weathered the storm. This guy's a street fighter.
Yes.
Back at La Candelaria, there was a town of 80 people, well, 79, because Walter's here now. But this guy comes to fight, and watch all the angles he's going to create.
Going up against the southpaw from Cleveland, Ohio in the black and silver trunks, utilizing the jab well early. Black with the white trim for Sarabia, his second entrance into the Trigon.
And Raul's a heck of an athlete. He ran a 4.340, wanted to be an NFL player, hurt his knee, it didn't work out after that, so now he chose fighting. But he's a very, very good athlete. He maintains that great discipline to get himself in great condition and understand sport. It's about opportunities. You don't get that many.
He talked about the fact that he wanted to come in tonight with the confidence in saying he has a technical style, but it's technically organized chaos.
Exactly, that's a good way to put it, and you're going to see it right here. He's actually shown some patience. Usually he's a little bit wilder in this. He's shown some patience, respects the power of Sarabia, especially after seeing his win against Isaac Ware.
Which came in round number 3. Sarabia was knocked down in the first, but he said it was kind of more of a trip, Benny. He was unfazed, he continued to do his thing, and he won the fight. Midway point of round number 1.
And as always, when you get a southpaw against an orthodox fighter, the feet, you gotta look at the feet, the positioning of the feet, the advantage of trying to avoid that left hand of Sarabia.
Both men with about the equal experience with the gloves on. 11 professional gloved fights for Sarabia, 10 for Sean Rawl.
And watch how he's going to plant that trap. So that Walter plants that trap. Watch. He's going to lead him out there, and then as soon as he comes in, he's going to throw that counter. The right hand is the big power shot that Walter comes in with.
Rawl very disciplined, as you talked about already, utilizing that jab very well early. Sean Rawl, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I asked him any connection to our former featherweight champion, Brandon Burr, and he told us in the fighter meetings, Benny, the guys at Strong Style Gym, home of course, Stipe Miocic, called him when they saw that he was fighting bare knuckle. So Sean did get some time at Strong Style and some time with the former champion, Brandon Burr.
That's great. You couldn't get better training than that.
You got that right.
Watch that right hand, though. Watch what Walter does. That left hand, he's throwing around from the side. He's setting up that straight right hand.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1.
make sure your fingers are close. He reacting the same way when you shoot the jab and go with the left hand, whether you going to the body or not. He backing out and dropping his hand. Use the double, but you can work off your feints, but use the double to get close. I'm telling you, trust me, you gonna let your left hand ride. You keep it short. If you throw the hook, it's gonna go off your shoulder. You gotta trust me on that, all right? Use the double, work off your feints. Use the double to get close. You can shoot the left hand, then you go find the right hook. That right hook ain't gonna be there. Look, he coming over the top of that bullshit ass left hook. Get up under that motherfucker, man. Tuck it to the body, then come upstairs, all right? Do what I know you can do. Under the bottom rope, under the bottom rope. Under the bottom rope. Show him you better than him, man.
Start of round number 2, Mike Goldberg, Benny Ricardo. Great to be here. The Stockyards Event Center, Denver, Colorado. Sarabia very calm in between rounds in his corner. Sean Rawls, very disciplined in round 1, but the corner of Sarabia, Benny said, hey, he's doing the same thing all the time. React to it and do some damage of your own.
And they want him to double up on the shot. That was also a 7 strikes for Raw. See that right hand? That right hand has been waiting to land there. Brawl is standing, he's way too high, Mike. He's got to bend those knees.
Yep.
Give him some shoulders. Don't give him his whole body.
You've been talking about that right hand. The young man, 34 years old from Argentina, has now lived in Las Vegas for over a year. Good connection by Wall.
And it's the right hand of Wall that did the damage there.
And he's picking up a little bit in this round.
Yeah, but Raw right there shows his inexperience with a trigon. He should not have let Sarabia breathe when he got him in that corner. You got to keep him there. There's that right hand.
Oh, that hurt him. Raw covering the eye. Sarabia now working the body. And down goes Sean Rawls. That right hand, bam!
That's it. And Bobby Wambacher did a great job. Looked right in his eye. Right in his eye when he asked that question. And he's looking for a very specific answer. When he asked him if he wants to continue, yes is the correct answer. And that's the only answer.
And he asked 2 or 3 times.
And it's interesting when you watch that, Mike, because the position of the body is such. He was leaning with that left. The whole time, he was just setting up his hips to come in with that right hand. And boy, it just landed right on the mark. And he went up, he went to 3 different levels with that punch. All 3 levels found their mark, and that was the end of Sean Rawls.
Benny, you said he had it in the holster in the first, and he unleashed.
There it is.
Here in the second.
And you can see, look at the expression on his face. He got that right in the eye, Mike.
Yep.
Right in the left eye, and then after there, then all of a sudden the man from La Candelaria was not going to let him out the corner. That's the difference between Raw and Sarabia's experience. Because once he got him in the corner, he was not going to let him out.
2-0. Inside the mighty Trigon, another finish for Sarabia. Official decision next. 2 battles inside the Trigon, 2 finishes for Walter Sarabia. To make it official, here's Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, upon close observation, referee Bobby Wambacher determines the blue corner can no longer continue, obligating him to stop this contest with an official time of 1 minute 52 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout from Argentina, El Nene, Walter Sarabia.
Argentina wins again. And his conditioning, you said, was fine because he was running up and down 11,000 feet above sea level in Mount Charleston in Vegas.
And you know, that's a straight shot, Mike. If you've been to Vegas, it's a straight shot, 32 miles up to the top of that Mount Charleston. So it gave him plenty of time to build up those lungs. And in the Mile High City, you needed all of it.
Give me a four-wheeler or I'm not doing it. So Sarabia, victorious to move to 2-0. And coming up next, it is with great excitement that we welcome the son of an absolute legend, the son of a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest boxers of all time, Roberto Duran's son, Robert Duran Jr., set to make his BYB and bare knuckle debut against Javon Wright. That's next. Special into the booth to watch Duran Jr., 2 years the elder of St. Louis, Missouri's Wright, who will have a 3-inch reach advantage, also has the height advantage. Our tail of the tape for this upcoming fight. Mike Bradner from BigResults.com. Mike Bradner Law, a huge supporter of BYB Extreme, now one of our main sponsors. Mike, first and foremost, thank you for your support. What has you so excited? What has you with this great belief for BYB and bare knuckle boxing?
When I was first introduced to it, at first it brought me back to college days, you know, when you used to do the bar fights and everything else in high school. But now to see that come in, it's like I wish I had more practice. Maybe I could be there. Maybe I could be doing this. You know what I mean now?
We can still put you on the card.
Oh, I'm good. I'm old.
Trust me, Mike, you don't want to be
I don't want to be on here at all.
Not in the Trigon.
Oh, no,
There's no place to run.
No, you don't. I mean, you get him in a corner, he's done.
That's true.
Yeah.
Benny says that once in a while. You're going to stay and watch this fight, call this fight with us,
Yeah,
all right?
definitely.
All right, we want more BigResults.com
Me
coming
too.
in this one. All right, official introductions from Lupe.
We continue with the action inside of the Stockyards Event Center, Denver, Colorado. This is BYB 26 Mile High Brawl, being presented in association with Mike Brandner Law, Master Sound Productions, and GC3 this contest. 5 rounds or less in the middleweight division. Scoring the action, we have Carmen Beal, along with Oscar Martinez and Mark Bantine. In charge of keeping order, referee Curtis Thrasher. Presenting first, the fighter in the blue corner. He enters wearing white with gold and black trim on the scale. He registered an official 153 pounds. Tonight, this well-rounded combat sports veteran makes his BYB bare knuckle debut. Representing the St. Louis, Missouri, Javon Wolfman Wright. His opposition, the red corner. Wearing black with white trim, he weighed in officially at 156.5 pounds. He carries one of the most legendary surnames in combat sports history, and tonight he brings his 85% knockout ratio into the mighty Trigon, looking to establish his own legacy in bare knuckle. With the KO in his DNA, from Hollywood, Florida, Robert El Gorilla Duran Jr.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions earlier in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times. Let's touch them up right now. Get ready.
Middleweight matchup scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds.
Right.
Here we go. Quickly, they clinch.
And that's going to be the key right there.
Yep.
Robert is going to have to adapt to a different style of boxing. And he's got to use right there, that tie plumb. But when he grabs that back of the neck, come in with the uppercut.
Javon Wright has a humongous and impressive Muay Thai background. So the clinch is where he is comfortable. Oh, fast hands by Robert Duran Jr.
It kind of surprised Wright right there, the way Robert was able to come from both sides. Get into that jaw.
Yeah. This is a jungle. We got a Wolfman, the gorilla. We got it.
You got that right.
You know, isn't it fitting, though, that Robert's
father's last fight was right here in Colorado against Macho Camacho. A fight I got to do, and whoa, that was a heck of a fight right there. At the Pepsi Center.
Heavy hands from Robert Duran Jr. 1 minute into the first round.
They got the genetics, that's for sure.
He definitely does. Takedown, no 2 points.
He can't park there.
Can't do that. But you can see the diversity of skills, Mike, because of the utilization of the clinch and that we allow the dirty boxing, which makes this very special.
It's a street fight.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a street fight with very talented and very dedicated athletes.
That's
now.
right.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it because it has evolved mouthpiece.
He's got to stop that, yeah. He's gonna spit out his mouthpiece. So this is one. After the second one, then he's gonna get it. They're gonna deduct the point.
Mouthpiece, all right, here we go. Let's do it.
Javon Wright is bloodied up.
He was begging for mercy. That's why his mouthpiece came
That's
out.
exactly right, Mike. July 14, 2001, Hector Macho Camacho defeated Robert Duran Jr.'s father, the great Roberto Duran, by unanimous decision in a 12-round fight. The last fight
Oh, he's got him in the
for
corner.
Hands of Stone.
And that's a comfort level right there,
Yeah.
Mike. He's comfort. I love it. Both guys are Mike. I can't go wrong. But you know, he's able to go ahead. And now, use that tie bluff. Now you see the MMA skills being used for bare knuckle. Because that's exactly what Javon Wright is doing.
That's what it's all about.
12 MMA fights for Javon Wright. As I mentioned, a ton of Muay Thai competition where Duran Jr. has always been all about hands. This time, the first time, without gloves on.
That was impressive right there. Wright was backed up to the corner, but with his footwork, spun Duran around and got himself out of there.
Southpaw now for Javon Wright. Good head movement. Switch stance.
You know,
Final 10 seconds of the round.
This shit ain't bad, don't worry. I'm good. Look at me, look at me.
Won that round. Hey, you're getting sloppy when you're getting backed up. Hey, if you're getting backed up, chin down, if you're gonna brawl, do it with your chin down, motherfucker. You know this. Chin down if you're gonna go. Hey, everywhere else you're beating it. Fight.
Fucking guy. Let's go. Use your boxing skills when he's standing toe to toe. Move your head, stay out of the fucking lane. Hear me.
One more. Hey, get on his ass, Wolf. Get on his ass, Wolf.
Start of round number 2. Duran Jr. also with a switch stance.
And he stepped on his foot and pushed him, so that's not gonna be a knockdown.
They battle right away. Duran Jr. in the black and white, heavy shots on Javon Wright in the red and gold. What a fight! You wanted bigresults.com, Mike, you're getting them.
You're right, it's big.
Mike Brandner Law joining us in the booth, a great sponsor of ours. Mike, you follow the art of war philosophy.
Yep.
You create chaos.
That's right.
Did you create this chaos?
Oh, this is awesome. You know what? This is exactly why I like it. It's all about the chaos. And there's no way to run either.
No way. And they call you the courtroom cowboy. Why?
Because I'm willing to do whatever they ask me to. I don't turn anything down.
But does Duran look like Katrina for you?
I tell you what, Duran is fitting right in here.
It's a slip. But you know, David Pena, what he told Duran was to do the following. Use your boxing skill. Use your boxing skill and back them up. Work behind that jab.
The
Both
first
fighters
time
are
without
cut.
the gloves is very different. Not just the offense, which is obvious, but it's the defense because you don't have those gloves. So the space to protect is very, very little.
This is what's going to be interesting, Mike. For Javon Wright, he hasn't fought in 18 months.
Right.
And that could be huge. You know, I know Duran has stayed busy boxing, but this is a whole new, like you said, he's got to punch now without gloves, so he's got to be punched with the index finger, the middle finger, and use the cushion in the elbow.
Tell you what,
David Pena,
Duran
Michael.
don't like the elbow.
Yeah, David Pena said, we're going to go with hands of steel for Robert. I said, well, he's got to have good hands of stone. He goes, he has hands of steel.
Exactly. There you go.
But there also Duran showed his experience. He had Wright in that corner. You can't let him out. You cannot let him out.
Switching back, both men are orthodox now.
Poked him in the eye.
That was the smallest hit, the greatest result.
And you know, Mike, usually what happens is when they have their hands out like that, then it's very tough to bring it back in before you throw the shot and you get that eye like that.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you the referee's going to warn him about that he's got to keep that fist.
And let's keep in mind, this is the first time that Duran Jr. has fought without the gloves. The gloves will keep the hands closed.
Yeah.
And he realizes what he did right there.
Absolutely.
The great sportsman he is, apologized.
With MMA guys a lot, Mike, and you've watched a lot of MMA, it happens because they're pushing away because of the gloves and the way they're fit. Here, when you have a boxer who has had gloves on his entire life,
it's different.
It's different. So accidental for sure, as now he tries to clean things up here.
Well, the biggest change, Mike, is the rhythm. In bare knuckle, you got to fight 1-2. The rhythm is 1-2. You can't flail. You flail, you break your hand.
Yeah. That's people don't realize. You got to protect your knuckles.
Exactly.
You're hitting them and you can break your hand. Then you're done.
There are big shot landed by Duran.
Boy, it's unmistakable when you hear the knuckle hit the bone in the face of the fighter.
I tell you what,
we got ourselves a fight.
You're getting hit by a truck right there. That makes some good money.
Position, he's gonna come in. Get him with a fucking fight too right away, bro. Breathe out. Take a deep breath.
Keep your eyes closed. Deep breath. Give me another one. One more. Now we back?
Yeah.
You lost that round. Okay?
You go to our boxing position. Hit them on the shin throw. That shit's right there. Okay? Let's go, Papa. Let's go. Grab this.
Let me go. You gotta fuck him around it.
Our Hall of Fame matchmaker, Mel Valenzuela, welcomes Robert Duran Jr. to BYB, and he has put a great opponent in front of him in the Wolfman, Javon Wright. White and gold for Wright, Duran Jr. in the black and white. High school football, our buddy Mike Brenner. Defensive line, you prefer attacking and sacking over blocking.
Oh, it's all about the attack. It's all about the attack.
You know, speaking of attack though now, Duran has a target, the right eye of Javon Wright. Very deep gas right there.
Wright, gonna get right back up.
He's got to take ballet or something. His balance is way off.
Smart to take the full 8. So the first knockdown officially scored here in round number 3. Duran with that style of having the boxing gloves on defensively. Both men are cut. And another knockdown scored by Duran Jr.
You know, right there you notice he tried to find the neutral corner. There's only one.
That's a good point.
tell you, it looks like he's tripping over his feet when he's falling. I'm trying to figure out what's making him fall.
They do tangle up when they switch those stances, but that's why he fell right there.
Yeah. There you go. Gorilla's going crazy.
It is all over! Robert Duran Jr. victorious in his BYB debut!
And I'll tell you what was impressive, Mike. The way, the discipline that Robert Duran Jr. showed right there in the trigon. He never overextended. He was right there in the pocket every time he threw, and he connected. It was just a matter of time. Javon Wright on the other hand, what a warrior. But, you know, 18 months of inactivity, he's got to get active. So he get acclimated to this. But I think he's got a good future here. For Robert, a great night.
Duran's at home. Like, he feels like he was here for a very long time, like he grew up here. It is awesome.
And you know, Mike, he made an interesting point, and interesting but obvious that there was a ton of pressure being Roberto Duran's son with the gloves on. But now he has his own way to go. That's right. He's got his own path, and he plans on taking big advantage of it.
When the pressure's off, it's unlimited what you can do.
You can get bigresults.com. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And by the way, Benny, if you're going to get in trouble, do it in New Orleans because Mike can represent you.
We got him.
Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Official decision next.
Zipo.
Robert Duran Jr., bare knuckle, new sport, my own legacy. What a firefight, Benny.
Exactly. You know, this is just great precision on the part of Duran, and you can see the incredible conditioning that he used because watch, he's going to back him up. He's going to back him up. But those punches are landing, and those they're landing flush in his face in the soft tissue. That was when the accidental stuck his finger in his eye. Wright tried to come back from that, Mike, but then there's that right hand. Caught him as he leaned back, and that's something you can't do. Don't go backwards in the trigon. You can move laterally, but not backwards.
And the DNA was on display with those hands of steel.
And I'm glad you said that, Mike, because when I used to do Roberto's fights, I used to say, you know what? 40% of a fighter's energy is nervous energy. For Duran, that was his comfort, the ring and the trigon.
He is off to a great start to make it official. Here is Lupe.
Inside the mighty trigon, referee Curtis Strasher calls off this contest with an official time of 1 minute 37 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout in his BYB debut, El Gorilla, Robert Duran Jr.
For the Hall of Fame father, the journey was completed here in Denver in bare knuckle. The journey is just underway in Denver, Colorado. Our winner will visit with Danielle Monet.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Robert, congratulations on an extremely impressive bare knuckle and BYB debut. How did it feel to step into this mighty trigon?
To be honest, I feel like I'm home. This is home for me. BYB, you got a new warrior now, baby. Duran is in the house.
Amazing. You've talked a lot about creating your own path in a completely different sport here at BYB. What are your plans here in bare knuckle fighting?
To keep fighting, build my record up, and then hopefully down the line, if the Lord allows it, to become world champion.
And let's get one more smile in the camera for those teeth we have missing. Congratulations.
Danielle, thank you very much, and a big congratulations to Robert Duran Jr., victorious in his bare knuckle and BYB debut. Coming up next, Julie Diaz in Zion Tomlinson in a Cruiserweight title eliminator. Don't go anywhere. Tonight, Denver, Colorado. Moving forward, a lot of titles and title eliminators are on the card. BYB 27, Jacksonville, Florida, June 14th. Harold Lightning McQueen, our featherweight world champion, fights John Bernard in a lightweight title eliminator. Also on that card, the rematch between Red Sonja Dreiling and the Red Queen, Jamie Driver. And how about New Orleans, Louisiana, BYB 28, Benny, the Hurricane, Ike Villanueva against the Cuban Assassin for the heavyweight championship of the world. Also, former BYB lightweight champion, Monica Medina, faces Helen Peralta for the inaugural women's featherweight belt. Then we are BYB 29 in the Pines. That is later this year. Still to come here tonight, it begins with Yulie the Monster and the Z-Man, Zion Tomlinson. There is our event coming up in BYB 27. McQueen, so ultra impressive in the rematch against Brandon Murray.
And you know, the thing with McQueen, he's probably the most talented fighter we have. There's a certain calm to him that just doesn't look like he's even breathing. No matter how many punches he throws, he's always so well balanced. And you know, he had a couple bad incidents in the terms of he didn't close the fist, and so therefore he was, you know, they ended up disqualifying for those. But this is a guy that's ultra talented. Bernard on the other hand's got a great opportunity to dethrone him.
And how about Hurricane Ike Villanueva looking to defend his BYB heavyweight belt against the #1 contender, the Cuban Assassin, Gustavo Trujillo.
I'll tell you what, Pat O'Brien's going to be jumping that night. And a guy like, you know, you're talking about power against speed, but also the Gustavo Trujillo brings tremendous speed and power. I think really just one tough son of a gun.
Monica Medina looking for the featherweight belt. She formerly held the lightweight belt. And then we move forward to Pembroke Pines when none other than Cub Hawkins returns, looking to defend his 175-pound gold for the very first time against Venezuela's legacy of God, Gregory Cisneros.
Hawkins to me is amazing. That fight against Ryan Czech was absolutely amazing. So here he is, the main event. Fights an unbelievable fight. 4 o'clock in the morning, he's up with me, catching a flight. It was like nothing. It was like he wasn't even in a fight. It's amazing, his physical conditioning and the discipline he brings, understanding that sports is about opportunity.
It certainly is, and so far it has been all about capturing victories for Cub Hawkins. Coming up next, this highly anticipated Cruiserweight collision. That is the Z-Man, Zion Tomlinson. And that man is known by all who cover and watch combat sports. Yulie the Monster Diaz. Diaz Tomlinson coming up next. Yulie, I didn't know that there was a little bit of bad blood between you two guys, but who knew?
Neither did I.
Me and Yulie, we have history, so it's
What kind of history?
Well, last time I seen Yulie, he told me I could talk online but not in his face. So I smacked him in his chest and said, "I know you're a bum." And we got to arguing in the Hard Rock. And then he came up to me, we squashed it, but now it's just business. But still got a chip on my shoulder to get that world title fight. I got to go through him.
you're not gonna take me out of my element by saying anything you say. You know, I know that's you trying to get in your own head, and that doesn't work on me, especially at this age.
This fight right here, I feel good. I feel like once that bell rings, it's gonna determine how the outcome's gonna come. Because once I hit him, he's gonna know that he ain't gonna be able to get me out of there quick. I'm here for 1 round or 5 rounds. I'm staying there 8th round.
You could disrespect me online, or you could say whatever you want. All those words don't mean shit till we get in there, and these hands do the talking at the end of the day.
But I fought the best of the best, and he's not close to being the best.
This fight is larger than life, and it should be a main event on night of main events. This right here is what we're gonna do. Tonight, it goes down. Somebody is gonna win, somebody's gonna lose.
3 years in the making, the hype train ends tomorrow. I killed the monster.
Cruiserweight title eliminator, our featured matchup, Yuli Diaz. Looking for his 2nd straight win inside the Trigon, his 5th bare knuckle. Zion Tomlinson Sr. 1-0-1 as he faces off against the legend, the fighting pride of the 305. Lupe.
Entering the arena, Zion Tomlinson.
Benny of BYB 17, May of 23, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Zion Tomlinson showcased a very high-level skill set in his victory over Matia Fana.
Exactly, 45 seconds, that's all it lasted. This is a guy who blends power, speed, athleticism. But the only thing he's got to watch out, he's a little tight. And usually in the fight game, if you tighten up, that's when you get knocked out. So he's going to have to stay loose, and he's going to have to go ahead and weather the storm. He thinks that the longer the fight goes, the better his chance is to win. Because Uli's going to come out right off the bat and try to finish him off.
Much to your point, he said he feels his keys to success straight down the middle, be technical, so utilize that height and reach advantage, and out cardio him. Now, Tomlinson Sr. lives in Virginia, has done the O2 training. We'll see whose cardio lasts if the fight gets deep.
And you know, he watched a lot of videos of especially Uli fighting against Francesco Ricci. And he said, that's gonna be my blueprint for this fight. I'm gonna box. Ricci ended up stopping Uli. 1 minute 16, he had that cut over his right eye. Did not continue, but that's what he's gonna try to do. Box him from afar. Don't let him get inside.
24-year-old Zion Tomlinson Sr.
His opposition, Yuli Diaz.
An absolute legend, 43-year-old Yuli Diaz. 17 of 18 club and bare knuckle wins combined by knockout. Benny, 10 of those in the very first round.
Well, you can't say it enough. This guy's got the fastest knockout in the history of combat sports. 3 seconds. That's all it took for him to be able to deposit Daniel De Benedetto with an anesthesia punch, and Benedetto didn't know where he was at after that. But you know what? I get goosebumps talking about this, Mike. The inspiration that Uli is when thinking about his son, who beat osteosarcoma. And you know, that's something that hits me very close, because one of my best friends in life and my tennis partner, Tom, he's battling cancer right now. He gets chemotherapy 4 days a week. Then all of a sudden, he rests one day and then he plays tennis with us on Saturday and Sunday. Uli said, with my son, I can't quit. If he can overcome cancer, I can surely overcome anything life offers me.
Well, you were impressed with Cub getting up at 4 a.m. after his win. After Yuli's win back in January, he ran a marathon. Said about mile 17 he was hurting, and then he thought about his son. And he said, I cannot let this go. I cannot stop. I cannot quit. And of course, he did not. And he doesn't plan on stopping here tonight against Zion Tomlinson Sr. Our tail of the tape for this Cruiserweight title eliminator matchup. Diaz, 43 years old. Tomlinson, just 24 years old. Yuli Diaz has a 4-inch reach advantage, but it is a 3-inch height advantage for Tomlinson out of Roanoke, Virginia. With the official introductions, once again, here's Lupe.
We continue with the action inside the Stockyards Event Center. Denver, Colorado, this is BYB 26 Mile High Brawl, presented in association with Mike Brander Law, along with Master Sound Productions and GC3. This is a 5-round Cruiserweight title eliminator. Scoring the action, we have judges Carmen Beal, along with Oscar Martinez and Mark Bantine. In charge of the action, referee Bobby Wambacher. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters wearing black with red trim. He weighed in officially at 184 1/4 pounds tonight. He accepts the biggest challenge of his pro career and brings his unpredictable style and power punching skills back to the mighty Trigon. From Roanoke, Virginia, Zion Z-Man Tomlinson. His opponent in the red corner, wearing black with gold littering. He weighed in at 185 1/4 pounds. After an electrifying BYB debut, the owner of the fastest KO in combat sports history, and the OG of backyard brawling, started from the streets of Miami, Florida, Cutie Monster.
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch him up if you want.
There's the touch. Bobby Wambacher, our referee. Yuli Diaz, Zion Tomlinson Sr. with his father in his corner. Here we go! Switch stance utilized by Tomlinson already. He's gone back and forth, and he just ate a big left from Diaz.
And he backed up, Mike. He can't back up. He's got to use that jab and use his reach.
Good work in the clinch. Diaz staying busy as well.
Zion is open for an uppercut if Uli can throw it.
Uli coming forward. No takedown, and we battle here in the first. Action-packed 30 seconds. Diaz knocked down by Tomlinson.
It was a right hand, Mike. Right hand right on the bridge of the nose.
Tomlinson strikes first. Yuli answers with a big right hand. They are going at it, frenetic pace early.
And boy, this is exactly what we expected.
Yes.
These guys, all that bad blood. And the good thing, that cut is below the eye. That's not going to pose a problem.
Yuli comes out firing. Able to avoid taking a third knockdown. Just missed with that left uppercut.
And I guarantee you, Uli's digging deep. Deep. And Uli Diaz Jr. inspires him and motivates. He can't quit.
The newfound superpowers, as he has said.
If Uli throws the uppercut and goes down.
Third time knockdown. 5, 6, I'm certain he will get up. 45 seconds left in round 1. Tomlinson scoring 3 knockdowns. That was a slip. 35 seconds.
Zion is doing a good job of backing up Uli. That way Uli can't load up.
Big pace set early by Tomlinson.
These guys are in unbelievable shape, Mike.
Yes.
You can't fight at this pace.
And a 10-7 round scored in the first for Tomlinson.
Keep your fucking hands up and be safe. Okay? Do not go out there fucking reckless. You go out there reckless, he's gonna knock your ass out. You keep your fucking hands up and your chin down and go to work. Straight down the middle. You get in the clinch, you uppercut this motherfucker. Understood?
Deep breath. Seconds out! Start of round number 2, Tomlinson's corner said, do not go for the knockout. Do not get wild or he will knock you out.
He's got to put that chin right on as close to his chest as possible and keep his hands up.
Diaz has been here in Denver for 3 weeks, training at altitude.
Zion is staying disciplined. Look at that, right down the pipe.
Yep.
And he's not extending himself. Not extending himself, but you've got to watch when he drops that head.
And it's the clinch work and the dirty boxing that's been very effective for Tomlinson.
He spit out his mouthpiece, Mike. Mouthpiece is just sitting there.
It is all over. Zion Tomlinson Sr. defeats Yuli Diaz, scores the biggest win of his young professional career.
Zion Tomlinson has been waiting for a long time for this opportunity. He got himself ready, and he made the most of the opportunity. Now, when Mel Valenzuela put this fight together, I mean, we thought explosion. That was the adjective that I was looking for. It was going to be explosion. That's exactly what it came out to be. Uli gave it everything he had, but Zion was just too technical, used the trigon like he should, used the tie plump, all those things you talked about, Mike, in terms of skill levels, Zion used.
He stayed within his game plan. It looks like chaos once in a while because it's bare knuckle fighting, but the reality is he was in full control of his aggressive attack throughout this entire fight.
And in the trigon, Mike, when you hurt your opponent, there's no place to run.
Yep.
So it's a great place to finish your the task at hand, and that's exactly what Zion did. With great combination from both sides, and boy, he found his mark.
Zion Tomlinson finishes Yuli Diaz, wins the fight. Zion Tomlinson told us Yuli Diaz is one of the biggest names in the game. I want it to be my name. I would say after tonight, Benny, he can claim it.
Absolutely, and he told us he was going to go straight down the middle. That's exactly what he did. He stayed in that plan. He kept himself out. He didn't overextend. He did a good job of mixing it up. And let me tell you something, Uli brought everything.
Yes.
He brought everything. Zion was able to withstand that and then find the way to go ahead and get the win. He bloodied him up,
And that last uppercut, the knockdown, finishes the fight to make it official. Here is Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an all-out war inside the mighty Trigon, referee Bobby Wambacher determines the red corner can no longer continue. forcing him to stop this contest with an official time of 36 seconds of round number 2. With the biggest victory of his pro career by TKO, the Z-Man, Zion Tomlinson.
Danielle will visit with our winner.
Zion, congratulations on an absolutely incredible victory here tonight over one of the biggest names in bare knuckle. How are you feeling?
I feel great. Everybody doubted me for 3 years. I told y'all what happened. He can't beat me.
I see. And obviously you're not scared of taking on any opponent. Is there someone in specific that you have your eyes on for your next fight?
Excuse my language. Your Cub Hawkins, say my name, you bitch.
Ooh, you heard that, Cub Hawkins. Congratulations.
Huge win for Zion Tomlinson. Huge week, Benny, for BYB with the recent news that we now are the owners of the biggest promotion in the UK, the oldest promotion in bare knuckle boxing.
Well, you know, the internet has shrunk the world. BYB is going to shrink the universe. And now he's combining BKB. And you know, Mike, when I first started doing bare knuckle, I did the very first one. And prior to that fight, I did my research by watching English bare knuckle fighters, because they've been doing it for a while. Learning about Lenny McLean, all these great bare knuckle fighters. And it's so amazing when we went down to England to do those fights, and now we are united. That is an unbelievable accomplishment to give the world the very best in bare knuckle.
Unbelievable news. Not here to take part, here to take over. The men who made it happen, I visit with right here, right now. I'm joined with the man who brought it alongside Dada 5000 from the backyard, our BYB president, Mike Vasquez, BYB CEO, Greg Bloom. The significance of the acquisition of BYB taking over BKB.
It's a game changer, Mike. It's a paradigm shift in the sport of bare knuckle fighting. BYB now has the largest roster of fighters, the most events completed, and we are the biggest, baddest bare knuckle company on the planet.
Mike, you've said to me since I first met you, buckle up. There's lots of great things to come. This is a pretty big one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've been working on this for the last couple of years with our partners over at BKB, doing talent exchange, sending fighters over there, bringing fighters over here, and doing events over in the UK. And this is actually just the next step of evolution, so we can bring everything under one rule set in the mighty Trigon.
Most importantly, Greg, do we need to have our passports ready for 2024?
Everyone better get their passports ready. We have a very busy schedule. We're doing a show a month. From here we go to Jacksonville, in July to New Orleans. In August we come home to South Florida. Then you're gonna see a couple shows in the UK, some other locations domestically, and like you said, buckle up.
As we've always said, Mike, you and I have said it, Greg, you and I have said it many times, we are not here to take part. We are here to take over. BYB and BKB, all under the great ownership and the same management that we bring you these fights from tonight. We finished the year 2023 right here in Denver, Colorado. It was the trilogy fight between Paty Juarez and Monica Medina, where Monica reclaimed her BYB lightweight title and the very first Police Gazette Black Double Diamond Trilogy belt. Tonight, she moves up to 140 to welcome the Cutie Monster, fighting out of the Czech Republic.
Entering the arena, Pavla Cladivova.
Pavla Cladivova, which she told us in the fighter interviews means hammer.
And that's her. And you know what? She says, this Trigon, I'm a pressure fighter. So this is ideal for me. And it's amazing how the term Mexican fighter is synonymous with a great warrior. And that's a tremendous respect for Paty. But this is a power lifter. Tremendous strength, tremendous discipline, tremendous ability to, when you get into competition, to come in and bring everything that she's got. This is going to be a super interesting fight.
Born and raised in the Czech Republic, still calls the Czech Republic home. She has spent some time at American top team Tampa, but for this fight, she arrived a week ago to adjust to not only altitude, but a very difficult time change. She takes this fight on 2 weeks' notice, and she believes in this opportunity. And much like we saw a moment ago with Zion Tomlinson, this is a massive opportunity for Pavla to take advantage of if she can.
And Rafael Garcia got her that opportunity. Rafael prepared her, told her, come in there on Saturday, acclimate yourself to the altitude, let's make the most of it. Paty lives in Denver, so she's already gonna have that advantage. They try to go ahead and minimize that advantage by coming in here on Saturday.
She just fought MMA back in February. Cloidova has a Pro K1 record of 15-1. She is the former IPF European and World Champion in powerlifting.
Her opposition, Paty Juarez.
20 minutes away from her home. Her and her husband, her family have lived here for 24 years. Paty Juarez, what an amazing trilogy. Our first ever BYB lightweight champion. She is the reigning BYB lightweight champion. That trilogy with Monica Medina brought out the best of both, but the very best version we have seen of Paty Juarez was in that third fight back in December right here, Benny.
Exactly. She had to dig deep to go ahead and find the way to overcome Monica Medina. But I thought, Mike, the best fight I've seen Paty Juarez fight was against Christine Stanley.
Yeah.
And that was as good a fight, I don't care, male, female, whatever. The way she used the lateral movement, the way she hooked, the way she jabbed. I thought that was the perfect way to fight in the Trigon.
And that is when she became the first ever BYB Women's Lightweight Champion, utilizing the right hand brilliantly. Our tail of the tape for this, our co-main event of the evening. Paty Juarez, 43 years old, 4 years older than Pavla Cladivova. Cladivova has a 6-inch reach advantage, although she is just 2 inches taller. She's got the powerlifting, she's got the bone structure. She will admit, though, she does not have the boxing experience of one of the Juarez trio.
Exactly.
This one being Paty, the queen of bare knuckle.
That's right, and she's of course that great boxing family, Lulu and Barbie, considered the best female Mexican fighter ever.
Lupe with the official introductions.
We continue inside the Stockyards Event Center, Denver, Colorado. This is Mile High Brawl. BYB 26 presented in association with Mike Brandner Law, along with Master Sound Productions and GC3. This is our co-main event of the evening, 5 rounds in the Super Lightweight division. Our judges, Carmen Beal, along with Oscar Martinez and Mark Bantine. Our referee, Curtis Thrasher. Presenting first, the fighter in the blue corner. She enters wearing black with multicolored trim. She weighed in at an official 140 1/4 pounds. Tonight, this pro MMA fighter and K1 level kickboxer makes her bare knuckle BYB debut. Hailing from Brno, Czech Republic, Cutie Monster, Pavla Kladivova. Her opposition in the red corner, wearing blue with silver trim, she weighed in at an identical 140 1/4 pounds. Tonight, this dedicated laser-focused fighter brings her Mexican style back to the Trigon. The reigning Double Diamond Police Gazette and reigning BYB Lightweight World Champion from La Ciudad de Mexico, DF outfit. And now, fighting out of the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado, Paty Juarez.
There you go, ladies.
This is definitely her home court.
Absolutely.
Okay, ladies,
in the
you received
Mile
your
High
instructions
City.
earlier in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves now. Good luck.
Non-title fight, the first 5-round fight in the career of Paty Juarez as we are underway. Paty Juarez.
And it's also a chance for her to go up in weight to 140.
Yes.
So we're going to see how she handles this weight.
No, stop, don't punch.
We talked about how powerful and dangerous the former powerlifting champion can be, but the boxing is sensational from Paty Juarez.
But this is what, if Pavla wants to win, she's got to make this a very dirty fight. You can see the strength in the legs of Pavla. Those are tremendously powerful legs. She's going to seek her balance from that.
Stop, don't punch. Step back, break clean.
And you can see Paty is adapted well. She knows how to use that tight plum as a defense.
Paty Juarez, navy blue and silver, black trunks for Pavla Cladivova from the Czech Republic.
And Paty's already found the left eye. Look at that left eye. See that cut right there?
Yep. Under the left eye of the Cutie Monster. Over the top in the clinch. Paty fired right back.
Yeah, she's got to get there first, Mike. She's got to go ahead and work right down the pipe, stay right there in that pocket, and do the damage there. You can see the strength of Cladivova.
Yes. So not only going up a weight class for the lightweight champion, but going against a power lifter extraordinaire.
Jako výborný. Běžu na ty spotky. Na to oko se ryse.
Round number 2. Fight scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds. Paty Juarez's first fight scheduled for 7 against Stanley and went the distance. Was a 7-rounder in the first fight against Medina. 4 of 7 for Click. 6 rounds in the second and third fight against Medina. This one, 5 rounds.
For Paty there, Mike, she's got to continue to get that backhand in. That right hand. Straight over the top of that left hand. See right there when she backs up? Throw that right hand.
Holding.
Cladivova calls her fight style monster chaos.
Stop.
Condition, heart, and toughness she talked about as her strengths, and a good right hand there, Benny.
Exactly. You know, Paty's strength is she's lived in high altitude her whole life.
Yes.
From Mexico City to Denver.
Stop.
The only other place higher would be Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Don't headlock.
She came down a few thousand feet to live here in Denver, the Mile High City.
Now she's got a cut in her mouth now, Paty Juarez. And listen to the crowd, Mike.
Her husband, Beto, 4 beautiful children, all born and raised here in Denver, Colorado. And her sisters, as always, in the corner tonight. Final seconds of round number 2.
Esa derecha, güey, te sigue pegando, ¿ok? Te tira al derecha, salte de ahí, güey. She's got to be first, and you got to finish the round. Překročí dej zadní, povol si a ještě, potop si a ještě.
The corner of Cloidova said be first and finish the round. Navy and silver for the lightweight champion, fighting for the first time at 140 super lightweight. Bare knuckle debut here in the BYB Trigon for the Czech Republic's Pavla Kladivova.
And in the corner of Paty Juarez, what they told her to do is that right hand is there. You gotta throw the right hand. Throw it straight. It's there, right there.
This is a grueling style of fight, to say the least. How long can the newcomer Cloidova keep the pace? As finally the hands connect for Paty Juarez with a great combination.
And mainly it's that right hand, Mike. That right hand has found a home. And you can see that Pavla's gassed. She is gassed.
Short notice, altitude, long travel, and a grueling style of fight. Paty looks like she's weathered the storm. Now can she take over?
Hey, stop! Don't punch! Step back! Step back!
And that's the thing with Paty at the age of 43. We'll see if she can dig deep in there to come out. And she's finding a home now. You can see Pavla dropping that head. She doesn't want any part of this.
Hands are free! Hands are free! Let's go! Let's go!
Cut on the side of the head of Paty Juarez, but the blood not coming in her eyes. Paty teeing off here. Late in round number 3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me! Come to me! You want to continue? Are you okay? Time!
Zadní, utopice, ještě jedný zadní. Chceš se napít? 2 rounds, Pavla. You got 2 more rounds. 4 minutes, Pavla. 4 minutes. You gotta keep it. Have to stay off the ropes. That's the way it's going.
Round number 4. The corner of Cloidova said 4 more minutes. I don't know if she's got the gas left.
And for Paty, she's got to keep throwing that right hand. That right hand has found a home. It's done damage, and she's got to keep working behind them.
They didn't break due to the referee, so that was a clean punch thrown by Cladivova. Again with the right hand.
I'll tell you what, for Pavla right now.
3, 4, 5. This might be it.
6, nope. 7,
good for her.
8. Walk to me. Walk to me. Are you okay? You want to fight? You want to continue fighting? No.
It is all over. Paty Juarez, victorious in her first fight in the super lightweight division, finishing Cloidova in round number 4.
The right hand by Paty Juarez was sensational. It found its mark, and it totally took the will out of Pavla Cloidova. For Cloidova, she's going to have to learn. This is different conditioning. Totally different conditioning. And I think, Mike, at 140, that is a good weight for Paty.
She definitely took on a very strong competitor tonight. Paty Juarez, victorious again, here in her own backyard.
Great fight. Pavla, proud of you. Great fight. Walk back with you, okay?
Ton of respect for the Cutie Monster taking this fight on short notice. You could see the physique, the strength, but over time, she wore down and Paty started to light it up.
And the wrong place to take a short notice fight is to come to Denver, Colorado, and try to take that fight. Because again, the altitude is an absolute killer. And you can see, as much as anything, she was exhausted.
And it's bad enough if you're coming from Miami, but she came from the Czech Republic. But big props to her and congratulations to Paty Juarez to make it official. Here's Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the mighty Trigon, referee Curtis Thrasher deems the blue corner unable to continue, obligating him to stop this contest with an official time of 56 seconds of the 4th and penultimate round, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout from the Mile High City, Patricia Paty Juarez.
Congratulations, Paty. Felicidades, Paty. That first round was toe-to-toe. What went through your head? Ese primer asalto estuvo al tú por tú. ¿Qué pasó por tu cabeza?
Estábamos estudiando. Yo sé que me dijeron que trabajáramos de una forma, pero siempre estudio el primer round. Pero después hice lo que me dijeron en mi esquina.
I was studying my opponent. I know I had to do some work, and I made that necessary adjustments based on the directions of my corner, and I did what I had to do. Simple question, who do you want next? ¿Quién sigue para ti?
La que venga, aquí estamos, ya saben.
Whoever's next, I'm here for anybody. Congratulations again, and thank you. Felicidades.
Muchas gracias. Gracias.
She is a classy champion. She has now earned victory at 140 pounds, our first ever BYB Women's Lightweight World Champion. Took the trilogy back in December and earns the victory again here tonight in her hometown of Denver, Colorado, to move to 5-1. Coming up next, it is our main event of the evening. The weight, Benny, is nearly over. It is the Samurai, Tommy Turner, a natural at 160, looking to claim BYB gold for the very first time. To do so, he has to surpass Smash, and that man is as dangerous as they come. The champ at super middleweight, looking to make it 2 divisions tonight and adding middleweight gold.
In the world of bare knuckle fighting, where every punch tells a story and every fighter carries a legacy, there are tales of triumph, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of greatness.
I know he's a tough guy, man. You drop him, he gets back up, he smiles, he comes for more. So he's got to be one of the toughest guys in the world. And then I just look forward to showing that I could put the toughest guy in the world down.
I got cardio for days. I'm gonna step forward, and no matter what, you're gonna see me in your face. And we got no gloves on, tight quarters, don't blink, knockouts happen.
I think if you don't want to fight the best guys in the world, then what are you fighting for?
In the heart of the city, under the unforgiving lights of the arena, 2 warriors stand on the precipice of glory and pain. In the world of bare knuckle fighting, there are few names as feared and respected as LT Nelson. A true veteran of the sport, he's forged his legacy through years of grit, determination, and a relentless forward-moving style.
And you know what? Another right hand!
In the chaotic dance of the Trigon, Tommy Turner is a symphony of controlled chaos, a calm facade masking the heart of a true warrior, a monster unleashed when the stakes are highest. Tonight, in the heart of the storm, amidst the sweat and adrenaline, true champions will emerge.
It is our main event of the evening. LT Smash Nelson, looking to become the first man to own BYB belts in 2 weight classes. Tommy Turner looking for gold for the very first time in this middleweight matchup, scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds.
Entering the arena, Tommy Turner.
My dad is the Samurai. Sons Taryn and Braxton walking out with Tommy, the Samurai Turner.
And you know, this is a great story. You know, Tommy Turner made some mistakes at the beginning, and he ended up in prison. But you know what? He found his life back. Found how to go about training, how to go about living life. And he made that mistake, and I've always said it takes a second to get in trouble and the rest of your life to get out of it. He's found a way to get out of it, and here he is now fighting for the title.
Absolutely, and a great story, a great leader, a great belief in the Lord above. His first MMA bout was at age 16. He said he was addicted to fighting since that day in glove boxing, and he was in it a long time, Benny. He said it wasn't heading to a world championship. Stylistically, he said he felt free when the gloves came off. He feels that this is where he belongs, right here, right now, and he is ready to become the BYB Middleweight World Champion.
And he's a former football player. One time weighed 230 pounds as a running back. Now look at him. Looks great at 160.
Tommy the Samurai Turner.
His counterpart, LT Nelson.
It's all about making those around us feel better. LT is a class act. He has fought in every form and fashion imaginable, including the art of 9 limbs, lightweight. Like, let's have Muay Thai add some headbutts, but the one thing we know is he can be slowed down, he can even be knocked down, but finished, not very often.
And you know, I was blown away when I met him before that fight against Ricardo Franco. And that's when I saw, and I said, when you see the fight, you see him take shots, but they don't affect him. He keeps going. But this guy, I thought his fight against Sam Vieira showed the ultimate heart of a competitor. Because he could have finished off Sam Vieira. And he was ashamed that accidentally poked him in the eye. He knew Sam wasn't right. And that's the gladiator in him. He spared him. And you know, afterwards they become great friends. I even saw him walk up to him and give him a flick in the nose when he thought he was going to touch his nose. Got it like a playful kid. That's Laurentine Smash Nelson.
And we talked about that at the induction into the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame last year. And LT and his mom and dad both were like, God bless you for mentioning it, because he did. He showed the true class of a martial artist, the true class of a warrior. Turns 34 on May 17th. His mom, Rosemarie, father, Trevor. He loves BYB. It means the world to him to have the super middleweight belt. It'll mean another world, maybe universe to him to claim a second.
Yeah, but you know, usually people go up there with that. He's going down. Yeah. His discipline, 3 pounds under that lower weight. That's incredible.
Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. LT Smash Nelson, 3 years younger than Tommy the Samurai Turner. Everything else is virtually identical. Like Benny said, 157.
From the Stockyards Event Center, this is BYB 26 Mile High Brawl, presented to you by Mike Bradner Long, along with Master Sound Productions and GC3. Our officials scoring this bout at ringside are judges Carmen Beal, along with Oscar Martinez and Mark Bantine. When the action begins, our referee in charge is Bobby Wambacher. This contest, 6 rounds or less on the line. The vacant BYB Extreme Middleweight Championship of the World. And now, Denver, Colorado, prepare to be entertained. The main event is on now. Presenting first, the fighter in the blue corner. He enters wearing white with black trim, and he weighed in at a ripped and ready 159 pounds. After a career of terrorizing professional boxing, this boxer-puncher now enters the Trigon in search of her first BYB world title. Representing Payette, Idaho, Tommy Samurai Turner. His opposition in the red corner, wearing camouflage, and he weighed in at 157 3/4 pounds. Tonight, in his 61st bout as a combat sports athlete, he looks to make history by capturing his 2nd world title in a 2nd weight class. The reigning BYB Extreme Super Middleweight World Champion, from Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. And now, fighting out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Laurent T. Smash Nelson.
Smash lived here in Denver for a long time, so there's a big Smash crowd here
This is
tonight.
BYB Middleweight title. We've been through the rules in the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch me up if you want.
Time. Woo!
How good is that? Bobby Wambach, our referee.
Let's get after it.
Here we go. Title fight, 6 3-minute rounds. Camel with black trim for Smash. White with black trim for Tommy.
That's a push.
Yep. Tommy acknowledged it immediately.
The left hand already got in there by Smash.
Smash with a heavy connection. Tommy looking to stay sharp with his boxing skills.
And look at that, even against the roll, again, that corner right there, Smash knows how to create punching angles. That's what he's so adept at doing.
Good avoidance, so good rolls by the Samurai. Turner trying to answer into the body and now to the head. What a start to one of the most highly anticipated matchups in BYB history.
And you know, he's been working with Leo Parucci. Smash out. Good shot right there.
Body shot.
And he did that with his back in the corner. That's unbelievable.
7. Hey, you want to continue? Watching him.
Nah, he's not well. He's not well, Mike.
Looking to get in and do some damage. Smash just takes it and returns. Tommy down again.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to continue? Walk over here. Fight.
The battle continues.
No, he can't continue. He's lost his balance. Look at that hematoma over the left
3,
eye.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Want to continue?
Man, it's swelling up.
Yeah, if that breaks open, it's trouble.
Yep. Turner. He's got to do some moving. Smash knocks him down again, 4th time here in round 1.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to continue? Watching me.
He did it right there.
It's all over. LT Smash Nelson becomes the first man in BYB history to hold a belt in 2 different weight divisions.
That's an incredible performance because, Mike, he came over the hands of Tommy Turner. They weren't coming from down below. They were actually coming from over the top. Just busted up Tommy Turner. Tommy Turner, again, he's not going to quit. He tried everything. But LT is just too much. Too much.
Laurent T. Smash Nelson victorious. In our main event of the evening, we make it official. The belt presentation coming up next. respect the class of martial artists, Turner and Nelson.
Hey, look at that smash. Go over to talk to those two kids, Taryn and Braxton.
You're awesome, dude. Your dad's a badass.
That's just incredible. That's LT. That's this sport. That's martial arts right there.
Yeah, but for Laurenti to have the presence of mind to go acknowledge his kid, that to me is an incredible heart.
He's what fighting in martial arts is all about. And he just finished a very dangerous man very quickly.
And the amazing thing with Smash Nelson is he's chosen his own destiny. He could follow into his family's fortune and all that, but no, he's chosen to create his own destiny, his own path. And I'll tell you what, he's reaching levels no fighter in our stable has reached the levels that Laurenti has accomplished.
All right, let's make it official with Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Bobby Wambacher determines that the blue corner is unable to continue, forcing him to stop this contest with an official time of 2 minutes 30 seconds of the opening round, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout and making history, becoming the only two-division BYB Extreme World Champion, Laurenti Smash Nelson.
And Smash is a man who's already beaten 3 BKB champions. Now we're on the same team, kind of.
Well, can he go down and wait and get another one?
Why not? Here's Daniel.
LT, congratulations on becoming the first ever two-division BYB World Champion. I think it's safe to say you do very well here in Denver.
Heck yeah, you know, I love Denver. Mile High City, baby. I used to live out here. Love you guys, all the fans. This is the Fight City, baby. We love it out here. First off, big up to my opponent, Tommy, bro. He is a gangster. He's been around the block. He knows how to fight. He's dangerous as hell, so just like I said to his son, like it's hit or miss sometimes, and here we go and put our heart on the line, and sometimes things happen that we don't want to happen, and sometimes things happen like I wanted to happen, and I get that win. So much love to everyone. Thank you. It's awesome being here talking to a beautiful lady.
Oh, stop it. And you've obviously fought the best of the best, and with BYB's UK acquisition of BKB, I have a feeling there's some people over in the UK that have their eye on both of your titles. Do you have your eye on anyone over there?
Man, I got my eye on whoever wants to come challenge me, baby. I feel like I am, and I know I am the best in the world. I'm taking over this fight game. I got the 65-pound belt. I got the 60-pound belt. Hey, I weighed in at 157. I can easily get that next belt lower too. Whatever's coming next, I'm ready for it. I'll fight any human in the world. What's up, baby?
And with your mom here tonight, and Mother's Day being on Sunday, was this one for your mama?
Yeah, I just want to say, I love my mom so much. She's the reason, my mom and dad, reason I'm here. I love my mom so much from the bottom of my heart, with all my heart and soul, and I put everything into this fight for my mom, for my dad. And one more thing, my brother Dom. Where's Dom at? My friend Dom, I love him so much. He's the man. He walked out with me. My brother Dom, he's down here. He walked out with me. He's like my other dad and brother. So I love you guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know, Benny, Smash could very well be unbeaten, if not for the great class he showed in that fight against Sam Liera. Parents were at Massage Envy. He walked across the street, and there is mom, Rosemarie. He walked across the street to LA Boxing at age 19. Mom is highly educated. Dad, Trevor, a wonderful man. He said, you know what, Mom and Dad, I'm gonna be a fighter. And they were like, what? And now they're like, okay.
And this is his comfort level, Mike.
It is.
I mean, I have never seen anybody get the leverage on his punches being backed up to a corner. When the Trigon, you're not supposed to be there. But yet, he finds a way to make that work for him, and it was incredibly effective. I mean, he was on the button with those shots. Tommy Turner, very game, came well, very well prepared. The smash is just too much.
All right, our fight of the night. From here in Denver, the debut of Robert Duran Jr. and Javon Wright was a very healthy opponent.
Exactly, and they went back and forth. And again, Javon Wright showed tremendous heart. Duran stayed in his plan. In his corner, they told him 5-2, 2-5, 5-2. Throw the right hand, and the right hand finally did the damage.
Hands of steel, looking to forge his own path, and he's off to a spectacular start. Our knockout of the night brought to you by Mike Bradner Law, BigResults.com, and there you see Zion Tomlinson standing next to Smash, and knockout of the night belongs to the Z-Man.
The Z-Man, his plan was to come right down the pipe with that right hand. Back him up, and then go ahead and strike with that right hand. He was on the button. Uli, as always, came to go ahead and put on a great performance. He ran into a young guy who was very fit and looking for the opportunity. Like he said, I'm fighting a legend. I win this, I escalate to another level.
It was great to visit with Mike Bradner tonight, and again, he sponsors our knockout of the night. Mike Bradner Law, BigResults.com. Could that be a matchup we see down the road? I know one thing. Ricardo Franco, Nathan DeCastro, Dan McGraffin, James Kennelly, they're all, I think they're happy about the acquisition because they get another shot at Smash, but be careful what you wish for.
And then you got Barry Jones.
Yes.
Can we possibly see a Smash against Barry Jones? Whoa, that would be something.
That would be incredible. Barry Jones was the only man to defeat Tommy Turner prior to tonight. So a night in Denver that ends historically with Laurent T. Smash Nelson becoming the first man to hold a belt in 2 different weight divisions. Next time we see you will be from Jacksonville, Florida on June 14th for BYB 27 Brawl in Duval. BYB featherweight champ Harold Lightning McQueen begins his quest for more gold when he faces off against the untamable one, John Bernard, in a lightweight title eliminator match. Plus, a grudge match a year and a half in the making when Red Sonja Dryland looks to avenge her London loss to the Red Queen, Jamie Driver. Then, BYB hits the Big Easy for the first time Saturday, July 13th. Heavyweight collision between the champion, undefeated Ike Villanueva. The Hurricane will be rolling as he takes on the #1 contender, the Cuban assassin, Gustavo Trujillo, for both the BYB heavyweight and the historic Police Gazette World Diamond Belt. Plus, Monica Medina faces off against Helen Peralta to see who will become the first ever BYB Women's Featherweight World Champion. Then BYB 29, Cub is back. Looks to remain unbeaten, looks to defend his 175-pound BYB gold against the Venezuelan Gregoris Cisneros, who is 2-0 in his last 2 fights in the Trigon in a total of exactly 2 minutes. What a night here in Denver. DeWitt Dixon said, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna fight. Art Parker made his way down to cruiserweight, but DeWitt Dixon was just too much. Good start for Cleveland, Ohio's Sean Rawl. Better finish for Walter Sarabia. We talked about it a moment ago, fight of the night, Robert Duran Jr., Javon Wright. Robert Duran Jr., spectacular. Then the Z-Man defeats Yuli Diaz and earns the biggest win of his professional career. Then the hometown girl, Paty Juarez, wins her first fight at 140, and LT becomes the first man to earn a belt in 2 different weight classes. From my partner, Benny Ricardo, Mike Goldberg, saying so long until next time. We see you right back here inside the Trigon.